Well, Lana, it's been a long time coming. You should have ran for council for years ago.
Yeah, you know what? I honestly kind of thought I never would, and I'd just try to work with people that were on council.
Yeah.
And that's worked well for a number of years, right? And I just find that the last couple years have been just brutal in the community. Mm-hmm. Things have changed. People aren't that accepting about being open and honest about what's changed, why it's changing, what do we need to do to fix it, and move forward. And I just reached a point where I can't watch it anymore. Had a young man overdose and die in front of our office. Had another one that went, like, it's not working in any way, shape, or form for anyone from any direction. Yeah. And we just need to be open and honest about what we need, and we got to do something about it.
Tell me about your background so that it lets voters know why you're a good choice for council at this time.
Okay, well, so I've been working in community development and crisis intervention since 1985 with LIPI, Low Income People Involvement of Nipissing. I've been involved with co-ops building affordable housing, nonprofits building affordable housing. I manage the North Bay Santa Fund. I'm just used to wherever there's a need, you push up your sleeves, figure out what kind of resources you have or what you got to get, and you just do what needs to be done because that's the humane thing to do. And a lot of times, I think it's amazing how you can provide like a $250 prescription over a 2-month period for a working poor family, and it takes all the stress off of them for $250. Yeah. Like, you got to be kidding me. Why wouldn't we do that? Yeah. You know, and like support the people
before it gets worse.
Yeah, and like, you know, you have 2-parent working families who are almost discriminated against now because if you don't have certain labels, like, you don't make the cut anywhere, right? So working poor just seems to be kind of wiped over there somewhere, right?
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, exactly. If you get good luck, you're doing good, right? So just seeing all that and some of the different dynamics and just some of the enabling that's being allowed right now that isn't helping people. And not because North Bay isn't a good community. North Bay is amazing. Like, I've been involved in different things over the years. It always just blows me away how many people put in time, because time is even better than money most of the time, right? And that's a lot to ask from people. Yeah. And just seeing all that come together, and then we had a bit of a void with COVID because nobody knew for the first year what was going on, kind of, right? And then now it's slowly, hopefully, getting kind of back to normal. Yep. Here's hoping. We still don't know if we can have people even help pack Santa baskets. And people are mad at us over that. Like, people expect to be a part of that, right? It's a family tradition. We do it every year. When are you guys going to do it right again? You know, like I agree with them, and we depend on them. So I'm hoping we can do it this year. But
what specifically would you propose that we do to address those issues that you're talking about?
I think we need to look at introducing a wellness center to the community. Mm-hmm. And by that I mean, say, just a quick version of it would be, say you had 60 to 80 units of housing, but attached to that you have a 24/7 therapeutic or treatment side to that, right? So what happens is, if I'm living here and the reality of me being able to function and live in the community, because that's the policies we did, we shut down psychiatric hospitals, we did all those things, and we said there'd be proper supports in the community, and there aren't, and there never have been. So if I need assistance with addictions, mental health, and hoarding, well, then once a week, that's what has to go on for me to maintain housing. And I have a tailored, like, it's not cookie cutter. What I need to maintain housing is that. The next person has just mental health issues, so that's what they need, right? To be supported and have their issues addressed. And it can't be just when we go in and do the crisis and you slap them into a unit somewhere. It's got to be ongoing, because mental health doesn't go away, or we wouldn't have a lot of the challenges that we have, right? People would have a crisis for a weekend and it's over. It doesn't work that way, and we know it doesn't work that way. So we have to quit doing that, properly equip people with the resources for them to maximize their capacities, right? Yep. And maintain them, and don't punish people if because lots of times people don't eat right, so their meds don't even work right.
Yeah.
You know, so then, okay, well, you don't lose your housing unit, but now Lana's going to have to go over to the therapeutic side for a while because her behaviors are off the wall and it's not safe for her to be in the community and she's scaring the daylights out of people, right?
Yeah.
So you go over here, but then you got your unit to go back to and your stuff is still there and it's secure and it's not getting busted into, right?
Yeah, makes
like,
sense.
I don't think we have any choice.
Yeah.
Like we can't keep allowing what's going on.
Yeah.
It's inhuman at every angle.
Yeah, and winter's coming.
I know. Like there's some of us that are working on getting a warming center pulled together now. NIMBYism, like I used to think it was bad when we used to try to do municipal nonprofits or affordable family units.
Yeah.
People will kill for that now. You say warming center, it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Back up the train, right? But something's got to give. Like this can't be, like we have to do something, right? So it's, and I'm tired of hearing people say, well, don't worry about it. It's just, you know, it's too bad that's how North Bay is now. Well, no, if you might be okay with that, but like it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
And nor should it.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to hear, oh, that's provincial, oh, that's federal, or that's only municipal and you can only deal with this. You know what? There's one taxpayer and we pay all those taxes. And I think if something is important to North Bay and the people that live here, at the municipal level, we should be all over it. And that doesn't mean we fund it. That means we advocate, we get other communities together across the north if we have to. There's all kinds of associations, FNOM, you know, the different organizations, NOSDA, and we make those things happen.
Mark King, in my interview with him, mentioned that there's like 1,600 hydro notifications for shutoff that went out recently. And
Yes.
that's all going to snowball down to you.
Yep, it is.
What kind of work do you have to do after, in DSAB after that kind of thing happens?
Yeah, DSAB doesn't fund utility arrears.
No.
We actually get funding from the utility providers under an agreement that the province put into place.
Oh, okay.
It's called LEAP, Low Income Earners Residential Energy Assistance. Like it's got a wicked name to it.
Can't pay the bill.
Yeah. So it's just working with people to say, okay, you got $800 in arrears right now.
Yeah.
What can you afford to contribute towards that? $150, good. You put your $150 down, I'll pay the difference. And it's called an earned grant. So for the next 4 months,
Yeah.
right, you show me that you paid your utility bill in full and on time, if people have capacity, because sometimes capacity is the issue too, right?
Yeah.
They got to be sustainable, right? But if you're sustainable and have capacity, then in 4 months I'll write off at $200 a month,
Yeah.
and you don't know anything. So then if you get into trouble next year again, after the heating season and the high billing can never catch up, you're clear and easy to go with us because you did what you could. Because what more can you expect from people, right?
Yep.
So we do that part. There's also the Ontario Energy Support Program, which is a subsidy where people can get assistance every month
Yep.
on their heating bill. If we can get help with what we can do, all those things.
Is that the best system?
I think the Ontario Energy Support Program is a good one in the sense that you just apply once every 2 years if you're not a senior. If you're a senior, once every 5 years.
Yeah.
And there's a credit put on your utility bill every month. You don't have to come see me over and over again. We
Right.
just have to get you on there once. And if you're computer friendly, you can look on your hydro bill and you can do it yourself.
Oh, okay.
Just most people aren't that friendly with it. And it makes them nervous because they just use the income tax program. So you're automatically renewed moving forward, right?
So there is something to help them.
There's something to help people, but people got to help themselves too.
Right.
So you got to kind of balance some of that stuff out, right? But it's like mutual responsibility, right? So whatever portion you can manage, let's work on that, and let's work on what are we doing moving forward to enable you to be in a position, right? Maybe they need a housing allowance, which lowers what they have to put out for rent,
Right.
and they get a housing subsidy of an extra $300 a month, and that just is what they need to break even, right? To be able to maintain bills.
And it's hard now.
Well,
Harder now
everything.
than it used to be? Is it harder now?
Oh, 100%. Are you kidding? There's nothing that hasn't gone up except wages,
Yeah.
right? Nothing. From gas to insurance to utilities to rents, there's nothing that hasn't gone up. So
What are the numbers as far as increases, the people that you have to help through Lippy?
sometimes we purposely don't count and we just keep going because it freaks you out.
Yeah.
It almost intimidates. It's like the Santa Fund. Every year I think, oh my gosh, we're going to hundreds of families, like almost 2,000 kids. Oh my God, how are we going to do this, right? You start to panic. So I find sometimes it helps when it's really intense time, like now, heading into the where you need eat, right? Just do it and count it later. Because if we count it, we get really nervous about it, right?
Yeah.
It's hundreds of families, hundreds. Those cutoffs are going to be, and there's no word yet provincially. The last few years, there's been a no cutoff zone, so it gave us time to work with people. Even if they had arrears, they had to be turned back on by like November 1st or November 15th. It was different each couple of years. Not a word. It's radio silence so far this year from the province.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's going to happen. If that doesn't happen, and like I'm not saying people should never have to pay their bills, but that gives us some breathing room to work with people, right? If that doesn't happen this year, we'll be scrambling. Like, I'm not sure how we'll pull it off, to be honest with you. We'll just do as many as we can and go from there.
What makes you a good council candidate? Other than your vast experience in dealing with the issues that are at the top of the list this election.
I value North Bay. I think North Bay is amazing. I think it deserves whatever type of supports and assistance we can all individually provide to the community as a whole. Number one. Number two, I value input from other people. There's no project that Lippy, the Santa Fe, any of us have ever done where we don't depend on input, time, monetarily, and people volunteering and participating to get a project done. So I don't know how council should be any different.
Right.
I think ideas are really important. I understand that eventually somebody's got to make a decision, you got to own it, get all your facts on the table. But I think we need to open it up a little more. It's intimidating. Like I can sit here and talk to you, but to go do a presentation at City Council, that is an intimidating process. Even to present to DSAB if they invite you to present, because it's not welcoming.
No.
Nobody asks questions. You're talking and that this is going on. Well, what'd you make me come here for? Why am I even here? And what's the point? And I get, hey, if you're tired, you're busy. We all are. We all have demands on us, right? But
so you'd like to see the procedural bylaw changed?
On presentations and just how presentations happen. And like that doesn't mean the same person should get to present every week or every second week. Like I get there's certain rules and limitations, obviously, right?
Once a month per topic.
I still think there's a better way and a more welcoming way to do it, where people feel more comfortable, because it's intimidating to go there and do a presentation. And I've been doing them for years and I still get intimidated by it.
Well, last chance for what you to say what you think voters should hear at this time, with a bit more than a week to go.
Yeah, I know, that makes me nervous too. It makes me really nervous. I guess I think the main thing is that I honestly think that, one, I know I'll work hard. Two, I know I'll tackle any issue that comes my way. And three, I think it's really important to do what we can within our means and within the resources that we have. And I think we need to maximize those resources and recognize that it's not always money. Sometimes it's people and community participation and education that needs to take place as well too, and ownership.
Well, I'm going to vote for you, Lana.
Thanks.
You might curse me after.
Yeah, I know. I'm starting to kind of get a little bit freaked out sometimes.
Like sometimes when you achieve what you want, right? Then you have to do.
Exactly. I know.
But I think you'd make a nice addition to the council.
Thanks.
Common sense person.
I think it'll be amazing to just get some stuff that I value and I think is important, and everybody that's talked to me so far thinks is important and needs to happen too. Let's get a move on. I don't want to hear why we can't do something or why we shouldn't do something. If it's something that is an issue or a challenge, let's just figure out what we can do.
Excellent. Well, good luck tonight.
Thanks. Yeah, I know. I'm nervous about that too.
Don't be. Just be yourself. Yeah.
Here we go.